community. Glad to be here with you guys on another wonderful, wonderful day. I hope that everybody had a very Merry Christmas. I hope everybody got to spend some really good quality time with family and friends. And I guess the party's not over, is it? We still got New Year's to get through, and so hopefully you have a good New Year's as well. I'm going to go ahead. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the Restream chat because I would like to allow anybody to be able to be a part of this conversation, because it's not just me, right? This is a topic that covers BVI pilots community as a whole. So everybody has a right to feed in on this, give their thoughts, give their views. And, yeah, so, let me see here. I believe
Ops 28.1.2 left star untitled Just Business left parent at Just Business.
And I've got a story to tell you guys real quick.
Ask left parent channel menu channel join leave channel CTRL plus L create channel F7C. Update channel shift plus F7P.
I want to make sure this channel is...
Topic edit mode password edit operator pat disk quota left parent and max users edit selected 10. Land selection removed. 3 land 3 land.
If Tim comes in, let me know and we'll change that there.
Just business left parent.
All right, so
Restream chat row 1 column 2.
First of all, I've got
just ops 28.1
well,
star untitled.
I guess I'll give you guys this window to look at. It's my flight plan coming up here later. We're going to be flying from Shortcut Charlotte over to LAX. So I'll give you that window to look at. It's better than looking at my desktop or, looking at nothing. So let me tell you guys a funny story first. Well, scary story, actually. Apparently, at some point or another, because the table I'm sitting at, there's obviously 4 different sides to a table. But the opposite side of me, across from me, I had a couple of my externals sitting there and whatnot. And I had another external sitting down on the bench that you sit on, because no one sits over there. Well, somebody had came in and put a can on my table, and I never knew it was there, so I never even knew it got tipped over. So the can got tipped over, and it landed right on top of one of my external hard drives, probably the oldest one. It's got a lot more valuable stuff on it, pictures, videos, files, my entire sound library, which is takes up 3/4 of my terabyte hard drive. That's a lot of sounds. That is a lot. That is a lot of sounds. Anyway, I pick it up, and I didn't even know. I just grabbed the hard drive, and all of a sudden I felt something wet, and all of a sudden just fluid just started pouring out of the bottom of this hard drive. I'm like, oh shoot. And so me and Brandon's here, and I'm telling Brandon, we're like, oh man, this thing is done. I took it. We both thought it was done. I took it apart, and on the newer external hard drives, actually there's nothing to them. You take them out of the case, and it's just pretty much solid. There's no moving parts inside of these.
No.
The only thing that moves is it's got a built-in little fan, and so that'll move. And so I tried to see if it would work. I dried it all up, and it wouldn't work. I said, okay, I'm going to let it sit here and see what happens. Yeah, you need something? No. Oh, okay. I'm going to let it sit here. Let's see what happens. What, 2 days?
Yeah.
2 days later, long story short, the hard drive is back in its case and it's working, you guys.
As if nothing ever happened.
And I'm not kidding you. I plugged it up, and right away, it's working. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I'm telling you. Like I said earlier, I think what really saved it was the fact that it was SSD and not your traditional platter spinning hard drive.
Because even when I took it apart and took it out of there, and I cleaned it all off, the main thing was that the pins wasn't sticky or yucky or, Because the pins is where the data comes. That's how you transfer the data. It's not the at the top of it gets wet. It's them pins. You get them pins wet,
you're done.
and you can short it out. But I got lucky. What can I say?
You did
All right,
get
so
lucky.
I've got Josh here. Well, I thought Josh. Wait, is he not here? Is he with us or not? I thought he was here.
No,
I
I'm,
believe he is.
I'm
Okay, he's
I'm
here.
here. I was just checking.
Okay, I got you. So Josh is here with us. Brandon is with us. And of course, you guys are with us if you decide to tap in on this conversation. I wanted to have this conversation because I feel like it's not that people are doing things wrong or someone did something or said something. It's that I want us all to be on the same level, right? And me and Declan, we've had this conversation more than once. Me and Brandon and Josh, we've all had this conversation. And the BVI pilot community, we probably have roughly 35-ish, 40 people.
I know we got 40 or a little bit under
Now,
that, yeah.
that's not that many people. And the one thing that I would encourage people to remember is when you're on vatsim or you're on a public forum, that anything and everything that we do reflects who we are as a whole. Let me give you an example. You get on vatsim and you're flying and your flight don't go right and you start mucking up, not following directions, you end up crashing or something silly happens, and you come on and you say, well, no big deal, and just start laughing, right?
Yeah.
It's not that it's a big deal that you did crash, because it really isn't a huge deal. But it is when you do it under the public's eye and then you reflect from it.
Yeah, because I mean,
Or you reflect
like
on
it
it.
or not, if you're flying and you're on VATSIM, technically you are in the public eye. And if you do something like that, yeah, it's going to reflect very badly on the rest of us, unfortunately.
And we really need to keep that in consideration, that if we go on VATSIM, we need to know what we are doing. And if we don't, we shouldn't be on there. You got 3 parts that really are very important to VATSIM. And I wish Declan was here. I really wish that he could be part of this conversation. But you got 3 major parts. You got when you first connect to VATSIM, you're getting everything set up. And so you're requesting your IFR clearance. It's important that you understand the process with that.
Yep.
It's important that you understand the read back. And it's also important that you understand what's happening once you get in the air. Where do I go? What do I do? What is my next step? We need to know this stuff. We need to know when do we change our channel? When do we
go to Unicom?
go to Unicom? Yeah. And I know everybody that I know, like me, or I can't really add you, Brandon, because you've not flown for a while, so I'll use other example for right now. Me, Declan, Rob, Josh, Marshall. I'm missing another one that hangs out over there. Marshall, Rob. I can't think of the other guy's name. What's his name?
Let's see. You got Tyler. You got.
No, not Tyler.
There's a couple other people.
There's Tyler, Declan, Marshall, Rob, Who's the other one I'm thinking of?
Gus, maybe?
Yeah, Gus. Is it Gus I'm thinking of? Maybe Gus. But anyway, my point is,
I mean, he's
all
in
of us know,
Vatsim on Vatsim.
we know the routine for VATSIM. I know what I'm going to say to VATSIM if I have a problem. I know what I'm going to say to VATSIM as I'm coming in. I know what, who I'm going to be talking to when I'm 5 miles out. From being at my location. And honestly, nobody should be scared to be on VATSIM. And I don't want this to be something that scares you to be on there, because if you know this stuff, get on there and have fun. Because we're not saying don't have fun. But guys, please keep in mind that we're trying to build this community and trying to at least give us a decent, not perfect, not the best, but a decent name. So when someone sees us out flying, they're like, oh yeah, there goes Josh with BVI Pilots. He's on VATSIM right now. I'm getting ready to have to work with him, and thank God, because he knows what he's doing. Stuff like that. Stuff that gives us a good reflection. Because let's face it, if we're on VATSIM messing up all the time, then they're going to be going, oh God, here comes Brandon. I got to do a landing with him, and this guy has no idea what he's doing. This is going to be fun.
Which has never happened, by the way, because I do know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm not saying it has. I'm making a point. Or
you
got a guilty conscience, one or the other. I don't know which, but
yeah. Well, I don't have that. So.
But it's the point that's what happens though if you're not on VATSIM and you're not being professional. Now, let's slide away from VATSIM for a minute. This also applies on public forums. If we go in a public forum and we're saying things that are not accurate at all, that reflects on us. For example, if I went on a forum and I said, oh man, PMDG's broke, it don't even work with the ILS. Well, I know that's, if someone says it, I know that that's not true. But not everybody does. And when everybody does, it's when it reflects the entire community. It does. And so that's why when I see Declan and them on VATSIM, I never see them saying things that are inappropriate. I don't see them being on VATSIM or on a public forum being confused about what they're talking about. I don't know. I've got one of the things where if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to post. That way, if I was to post when I don't know what I'm talking about, and it ended up getting, 100 other people replying and building this big thread, and then I got nothing else to say because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Imagine the reflection off that. So I'm going to take it around because I'm going to let everybody have a piece of this and kind of share their thoughts on it. This isn't just Johnny's thoughts. I mean, again, this channel is not just Johnny's channel. This channel is for BVI. So let's start with Josh. Josh, you're up. Give me your thoughts, feedback, feelings.
Just on
what angers you, what makes you happy, what doesn't anger you, what
and
excites you, what pleasures you. Go ahead, Josh. We'll leave out the pleasure part, folks. I don't want to get into pornography right now. We might get in trouble.
Oh, jeez.
Go ahead, buddy.
So basically, yeah, when you reach out on a public forum, it does affect us. It does affect us. Depending on the message that is being conveyed in a public light. Because perfect example was last year I posted a funny video, a funny video to me, that is, on the MSFS 2020 forum about, this is when, like, we didn't have there was no MS 2020 narrator, nothing like that. It was just me messing around with it. So I posted a video of me, just taking off, and because I didn't really know where we were, I'm just like, I'll just shut out the engine and just crash it. I'll just let it, and it was funny, but, to the public perception of things, it's like, oh, why are you even in doing flight simulation and all that stuff. So it kind of created some unneeded negative backlash.
Did you get some backlash off that?
I'm not surprised if you did.
I think
a little
I seen
bit.
that video.
It
People
was...
were asking, why did you crash, right? Is that the one? Like, they was like, what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
What?
That is pretty funny, actually.
Because I did it on purpose, but, like, I think, I don't know, like, I don't have very many negative public perception type videos. I guess, the other one is, the other most recent one before that is not flight related, but yeah, like, I think in general, public perception, I think, is pretty important. I think it especially those of us who go on vatsim regularly.
I mean, if you think about it,
then we're putting the BVI name out there.
yeah.
That's why when you go read an airline SOP document, virtual airline, they say that, quote unquote, you are representing our airline when you use our call sign, and there will be negative consequences for any bad behavior with, undue toward the airline, with using the call sign. So.
Let me give you another good example. It's like when I'm doing, if I'm doing a flight, whether I'm on VATSIM or not, even when I'm not on VATSIM and I'm doing a video, and you can go and watch, you won't see me allow myself to crash. If I see I'm having a problem, what do? You guys should know this right off the bat. What do I do if I see I'm having a problem and I know I'm not going to be able to land?
You say you're basically having a problem, you're going to do the flight over and disconnect.
Yeah. Because I would rather do that than crash and not have a valid answer on why did I crash. Because usually when we have these errors, we're kind of like, we're troubleshooting, but we've done troubleshooted all we can in the cockpit and we couldn't figure it out. So that means we probably shouldn't be staying alive and trying to tell people why we crashed, because we don't know yet. So you disconnect. Yeah, it's not a complete video, and I've had some backlash on that too. But here's the thing: I would rather have the video that ends without landing than to have a video where I land and I crash. Because it does matter. It matters for the entire community. It does. All right, let's take it over to Mr. Rage number one, Raging Brandon. And
well, I've had nothing to rage about for quite a while, thankfully.
You know what? But that's a good example. Not to put you on the spot here, Brandon, but all them times that you've raged, you picked up that reputation, right? Like, you picked up the reputation where when people say Brandon Armstrong, you can't tell me they don't think about, oh yeah, that's the guy that rages. I'm
going to be honest. I have a reputation already, even before that. Like, people online really don't like me because of my opinions anyway. But
it doesn't matter about your opinion on the personal level. It's it's the opinion that people have when you're connected to BVI. I'm just saying, like, that's an example of the kind of reputations that can pick up.
Yeah.
So obviously Brandon is going to work on that and hopefully not rage on the live stream. But go ahead, Brandon. I just wanted to make a point.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all the comments about, like I said earlier, when you're on VATSIM or a public forum, you are in the public eye, and you got to
App
behave
Start cursor.
accordingly. And if you mess up, misbehave, do things that are ridiculous, yeah, you will get that kind of a reputation.
And
And-
especially on VATSIM these days,
Yeah.
you
And
have
VATSIM
you have
controllers will reflect that. Unfortunately, I've heard stories about, especially around the LAX area, where people have flown in there, and because of
Well-
one individual, who I won't name, they decided that the rest of us couldn't land planes, and they were like, "Well, can you do this? This? No, we can land them."
Right.
I mean, VATSIM also has a like almost pretty much zero delay when things happen now. So when other pilots can see you crash, other pilots and controllers, everybody can see you almost instantaneously now.
Yeah, so that
So-
makes it doubly important that you're on the top of your game.
Not only that, there's a streaming compilation every week that's done of all of the, well, they call it the best flight sim moments, but really what it is really bad moments on
VATSIM
VATSIM.
failures.
There's people
Yeah.
crashing, bad landings,
I'm
just
hoping none of our
everything
group has made
like
it into
that.
those.
I mean,
not yet. I mean, I'm surprised we
and
haven't
the
yet.
thing is too, and Brandon, you wouldn't know this yet. VATSIM's gotten more strict since you've been on.
Oh, I believe it.
They have now. You have to fly with real world weather, no exceptions now.
Which,
Like that's
yeah.
in the code of conf.
and
code
they're
of
real
conduct
big
now.
Code of
about,
conduct.
it was kind of the same way then, but it's even gotten even more strict about, where you sometimes you'll have a short conversation with the pilot.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
they're even more strict about that. That no conversations.
Over Unicom, yeah, you can't have conversations over Unicom. That's
Yeah,
something
Now-
I try if I want to have a conversation with somebody on Unicom, I won't voice. I'll send them a private
Ryan
message.
Bishop. I think this goes beyond public forums. BVI forums as well. If devs of tools go on BVI forums for assistance, please be respectful.
Well, BVI
Sorry,
Yeah.
BVI
have to say
forum BVI
I've seen
forums
mainstream
is a
devs
public
bash too
forum
much.
though, Ryan.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's still considered. I mean, BVI forums
it's
is
public.
still public. It's a public.
BVI WhatsApp
it's-
group is a public
Yeah,
group.
and like the WhatsApp
Yeah.
group, that's public. So yeah, but I see what your point is. Like, all these different ones are all public forums, and it's all public, and everything we do, there's a penalty to pay if we don't do things to the best of our ability. Now listen, I know we got new pilots, new simmers, and I'm glad for that, and I hope we get more. But if you're not sure about something, guys, I can't stress it enough, please feel free to ask. Me and Declan, and if you guys want to check it out, it's on the BVI Pilots homepage now. If you go to bvipilots.net, you will find we added a customized tutorial that takes you from Cold and Dark all the way to taking off, cruise, descent, and landing. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
it's
gonna have to grab that when I get.
it's a
my,
really
computer.
good tutorial, and honestly, if someone can't follow that, like me and Declan said, if they can't follow that, and if that can't get them in the air, I don't know. But point is, those things are available to you, and anytime that I can think of a tutorial that's going to help, I'll write one up, I'll send it to Declan, he'll look it over, add some stuff to it, because me and him both did this last tutorial. I did the first part of it, and he did the cruise and the landing.
Yeah.
Because the reason that happened was I was going to break it up into different sections, but it just, I'm glad that we got it that way because it all goes together. But
Yeah, I think when I get my computer, I'm gonna have to get that because I got the rough copy of what you wrote,
Yeah.
and it was really, really good.
no,
when
I
read
sent
it.
you that last night.
Well, I couldn't activate the link.
Oh, I thought you saved it. Well, either way, that's the point though. Is if you need help,
Ryan Bishop,
ask.
we have viewers, so here is that guide. https://bvipilots.net/_media/cdu_quickstart.zip.
There it is. Okay, thanks, Ryan, for posting that. I appreciate that. Ryan just put the link, you guys, up in the chat. So please feel free to grab that link because that link, that tutorial, it really is helpful. I would like to get some feedback on that tutorial. If someone uses it, contact me because I'd love to get some feedback on the tutorial. That way, maybe there's something that I could have done better, or something that we could have put in there that would have made it easier.
Oh, I'll definitely be.
I might create a feedback thing for that. Or maybe I'll get with Declan and we'll have a feedback form somewhere on the website. Well, I'll check into that, you guys. But point is, if you know how to do something, don't get, don't go into the public eye and get all frustrated and, throw a fit before you ask somebody for help. Because all this stuff matters, you guys. And look, I still got a lot of learning. Okay, we all do. I'm not perfect. I make my mistakes when flying. But I'm not afraid to ask. I'm not afraid to go that extra mile so that I can do better. And that's what it's about. We got to think about this too. It's hard enough for, I'm going to say, the overall community, those that are sighted and stuff like that. It's hard enough for them to grasp onto the fact that, holy cow, all them guys are blind and they are flying good. But how are they doing it? How in the world are they doing that? Right? So they got to grasp onto that. And that can be a shocker with some. I mean, I've had people come to me through the videos and, other routes of communication and say, how in the world are you doing that? And they're,
I've had Uber drivers doing that with me too, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay to have that reputation. It's okay for people to, we want the sighted community to be shocked. We want them to be excited, curious. Because, I mean, look what we're doing. So, again, I wasn't coming live to gripe at anybody because I'm not here to gripe at anybody for doing something wrong. Nobody's done that. And if you have, that's on a, that obviously I'm not going to come to a public video and be like, shame on you, you dirty dog. And, if I had that much of a problem, I would just contact the person and be like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just try to help us grow this community and help us keep a decent name under our belt. A decent name, not even perfect. Because nobody's perfect, right? Well, besides Brandon. Brandon, he thinks he can walk on water and God knows what else.
I never said that.
No, I'm just kidding, guys. But no, I enjoy flying, and you know, I remember when I was flying on 2020, I was having all them problems. I did several videos and it just kept on messing up with lag. And I stopped. I just stopped. And people was like, well, I thought you was on 2020. Well, I was. But I wasn't going to continue to do that to look like an idiot because I keep coming live knowing that, oh, it's probably going to skip again. Oh, there he goes. Oh, there he goes. You know, I shouldn't even win as many times as I did, but I was really, really wanting to fix it. And that's a little different because I was troubleshooting. So it wasn't like I was just going live and I knew that I had problems and didn't care. It was, I knew there was some things going on, but the only way to troubleshoot it was to go live. So there's always different scenarios, different situations, and different outcomes. So hopefully this video, you know, it'll give people a better understanding if you fly with the BVI. If you need help, I cannot stress enough to tell you that if you need help, ask. Alright, let me see here. Is there anything that we're missing here?
Title dash notepad. Land. Sci-fi 120.
So.
Sci-5.
Okay.
I was gonna comment and say on the part about helping. Aren't we gonna offer flight training as well? Being as I'm gonna be new at flying PMDG.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it flight training. I mean, I'm going to show you guys how to do some stuff, but I don't know if I'd label it exactly flight training where there's going to be like 4 days a week, meet at this time, but I am going to offer some flight reviews. Well, I guess you could say training, yeah. I am offering training, so if I can, you know, and again, just because I'm doing it, no, I'm not, you know, stepping above anyone here. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone else, because I'm not. But anyone that has seen enough of my flights knows that at least I do know how to complete a flight. I do know how to fly, especially the 737. I've done enough of those where, you know, if there was stuff that I didn't know, and I felt like it's damaging to teach you, I wouldn't say, hey, you know, I'd be glad to teach you. But I know enough to at least get you guys off the ground if you need help, and I'm willing to do that. On the 10th, I believe on exactly the 10th, Brandon's computer will be going out to him, and then about anywhere from 3 to 7 days later,
Ryan
he'll
Bishop.
have his computer,
If I've learned anything,
and then I'll be doing
he
that.
knows when things go to sh*t. He knows how to keep it in the air, lol.
Ryan said, if I've learned one thing, he knows when things are going to sh****, you know, crap. He knows how to keep it in the air. At least he doesn't let it crash. And he's right, man. I'll do everything at my, I mean, Brandon, you know this too. I'll go at all ends to make sure that plane doesn't touch the ground. If it's got problems, you might hear bells and whistles going off, but that son of a gun's not going on the ground. I'll bring the throttles as far forward as I can get them to go, just to keep that puppy afloat. Like, nope, you're not going down. So somewhere after the 10th, in between the 10th and the 20th, I'll be doing that. So guys, be looking for some messages, announcements. When I go to do it, maybe I'll have Declan throwing in, because I can't do the announcement. Declan's got to do that. So I'll tell him, hey, will you throw an announcement out with this message, blah, 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 and get that out to people so you know. But I'm really happy to see where we're going. We're getting new members on the WhatsApp group. We're getting new viewers on the channel. I I was really, really, really hoping to be at 100 by New Year's, but it's just not going to happen. Not going to happen, but we'll get there. We're not far away. I mean, we got, 20 to go or something like that. So we'll get there. And remember, guys, I'm still doing that. Whoever shares the channel and people actually, subscribe, and if I can validate that they subscribe because you shared it with them, whoever's got the most shares for subscribes, there's going to be a $100 bill being given out. Well, technically a gift card. $50 and $25. So not just one person can benefit from this. So share this channel as much as you can. Get people to join, to subscribe. And don't forget to set your notifications. So for that said, I guess that's it for now, guys. I guess I'm going to end it by just saying, play it smart when you're online, when you're on public forums. Think about it. If you're going to say something, ask yourself before you say it, what would I say to a question like that? Or what would I say to a comment like that? And that'll kind of help you keep things organized on what to post and what not to post. Josh, you got anything?
Yeah.
No, I don't really have much to add. Just, pretty much, I think, what we all said is all valid, pretty much.
Yeah. So, Brandon, you good?
Yep. I just want to say, definitely play it safe. Wish everybody a happy new year. I know I got some plans. It's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Restream chat row 1 column 2.
Awesome. Yep.
Restream
You
chat
guys
row 1,
have
column
a
1.
very happy new year.
Just business left parent.
And if you're flying, have fun flying. I'm going to be doing a flight on New Year's, I do believe. Not sure where yet.
I can't wait to start that again.
I know I'm going to be doing a flight here in a little while. Shortcut Charlotte to Los Angeles. So y'all can check it out in a little bit. Ryan, thanks for jumping onto the chat. He's one of my admins through the YouTube, because it's good to have someone like that. And guys, just have fun. And we're glad to see new people coming in. And just remember, anytime you got questions, there's no stupid questions, okay? If you got a question, ask. All right, because
just don't ask questions about having exactly 20 buttons and knobs, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I've learned that no question is a stupid question, because sometimes there's more than one person that might ask that same question. Yeah. Let's not
start recording checkbox not checked.
Unfortunately, we're not up to par with Ron. Ron, you got us all beat, and you've got the yoke with 20 knobs and 20 buttons, and well, by now it's probably controlling the temperature in your house and God knows what else. All right, y'all take care. Have a wonderful day. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, if you just got here, tap on that subscribe button and join us here at BVI Pilots. Set your notifications always so that you're notified each and every single time that we go live or publish a new video. Until next time, my friends, keep the blue skies up. And I've said it once, I've said it twice. And guess what? I'm not going to say it again. See ya.
Checked.
Brandon, you was waiting for it, dude. You was waiting for me to say it.
I was like, he's about to say it. No, I'm not going to say it.
Nope.
See ya.
Nope, not today. Shit.
Oh, man.
I mean, if anyone takes offense to that, that's tough.
Stop recording checkbox checked.
Oh,
Stop
well.
streaming check.